Good morning, everyone. So today we're doing something a little different. We are heading to the shop in the Lemans, and we're going to rebuild. Let's see if I put this window up, if it helps. We're going to rebuild a Turbo 350 that Jake gave me. He had it, but it's a BOP, which is Buick Olds Pontiac, which is a different bell housing than a standard Chevy. So he has real no use for it. He doesn't have any Pontiac engines or Oldsmobile or Buick engines. So he gave it to me to use. So we're gonna rebuild that. I literally took the pan off and looked at it and it looked okay. So we'll see how it is when we get there. But my buddy Justin is gonna meet us there at the shop, and he's gonna help me go through that transmission. I bought a complete rebuild kit, clutches, seals, everything, and also a shift kit. So it's nothing crazy, because I think eventually in Le Mans I want to put a 5.7 LS engine in it. The current 350 is pretty good, but I want a little bit more power. This thing kind of sucks. It makes cool noises, but it don't go anywhere, and it gets terrible fuel mileage. So to bring it to the 21st century, probably gonna LS swap it. I'll keep the original motor and everything, but cool thing is I want to keep it carbureted. I don't want to put fuel injection on it. The carburetor works really well. So and I have what's needed to run an LS engine. The stock coils, MSD actually sells a box that will run the stock cam and crank sensor, and then will run the stock LS coils. Pretty cool. And you can go in there and you can either do map based, like manifold pressure, or you can add the little chips that you can set the timing curve to. I'll probably do it the manifold, so that way I can build the curve how I want it. So yeah, but that's a little bit down the line. I got like 5 other projects in the way, and plus I have to build the motor. It's not built yet. Anyway, heading to the shop. We're going to go through that Turbo 350. Depending how long it takes us, I might swap it today, because the current Turbo 350 that's in the Le Mans sucks. It leaks a lot, and it's slipping. Like it slips when the 1-2 gear change, and then if you roll into it a little bit in second, it slips. It's junk. So I'm trying to baby it to the shop, make it there, and then like I said, ideally, if it takes us 2-3 hours to rebuild the other Turbo 350, it's only going to take me maybe an hour or so to swap it. So that'd be really cool. I would like to do that today, but if we could just rebuild it, I would be perfectly happy with that also. But a bonus would be if we could swap it. All right, let's get to the shop. Made it to the shop, and now we've already started work. Well, Justin has started work. That's right. Basically got it apart. It looks like at one point someone did sort of a freshen up. There's definitely new clutches in it. Like you can see, these are basically new, and then there's old clutches. Some of them are, yeah, like this one you can see there's got a bunch of heat in it. So somebody definitely tried to do maybe a patch job to get them through, a season or something, but definitely happy we are going completely through it. And okay, sorry, the camera literally just died, but we've progressed a little bit because I had to let the batteries charge. So now Justin's measuring all of the clearances. Yep. For the clutch packs, and we've got a couple new, literally started putting back together new seals on, what's that? That's the piston? Low reverse piston. Yeah. New seals on that. Just press that guy back together. There's a bunch of springs and yeah, that one's a pain. So just going through everything, checking what we have or what the old ones are versus what the new are, and yeah, getting to the fun part, I guess. That's right. It's been a couple hours, like 4 hours, and we're done. So we really got into a rhythm and just started banging it out, and it is complete. everything's done. I left the tail shaft housing off because A, I don't have the bolts, and B, I want to make sure the speedometer gear is the same as the one in the car. I planned on doing it today, but I'm not, because it's already 4:30 and I gotta head home. What's kind of cool, my buddy Justin noticed, this is actually a dual bolt pattern transmission. So it'll do Chevy and Pontiac. I did not even know that was available. Like that was a thing. Pretty cool. So probably next week, I will get this get here early, and just swap the trans out. I have to get some transmission cooler cleaner, because I want to just get everything out of this thing and just get it nice and clean. And yeah, so you'll see the rest of this video in like 3 seconds. For me, it's gonna be like a week. See you in a minute. Good morning, guys. Told you, be right back. So we're on our way to the shop. I think the guys are a little busy today, so we'll see if we have time to throw the Lemans on the lift to swap that trans real quick. But the main reason I'm going down, it's funny I say main reason, but the main reason I'm going down is I want to get the rest of the Fairmont's cage burned in. I'm waiting on parts on the OBS, so I can't do much work on that. So I figured let's bang out some stuff on the Fairmont. Where time is ticking away, so I have to get that fully burned in, and then I got to get it certified. Once those two things are done, I will feel much better that the cage is done and it's certified. It'll just be a huge weight off my shoulders. So let's get to the shop and see how the guys are doing. So I figured I'd film this before I get to the shop. Well, I mean with the old trans. So I decided to try some Lucas transmission like slip fix stuff in this trans, because it seemed to slip in second gear mostly only, otherwise it's pretty good. So it basically got rid of the auto shift. So watch, I'll show you. I'll leave it in a third, like drive. Shift. I gotta pull it on the first, second, third. I have to manually shift it. It must have gummed up the valve body, and yeah, now it does not want to auto shift anymore. So I haven't floored it to see if it fixed the slip, but it definitely broke that. Here again, watch. It's the third. Or drive, I should say, not third. Still in first. Even if I lift off. Nope. Manually shifted in second. So that's one thing I kind of want to fix today. Yeah, I'll roll into it in second, see if it slips. No, it didn't. Okay. I mean, it fixed that. I guess it sort of did its job. I usually like Lucas products. I don't know if I'd recommend the transmission stuff. I don't know. All right, now we're heading to we're almost to the shop, but I wanted to get that before we pulled this trans out today. Show what it was doing. Made it to the shop and got the car on the lift. So looks like there's a couple things we got to take off. The big thing with this trans is it leaked crazy. I'm pretty sure out of the converter seal, but a couple things we got to take off and get this puppy out. Got the new one right there. So let's take the cross member out. Well, the cross member would probably last. Take this out first, undo, hopefully I don't have to take the starter out to do the converter bolts. because the starter is an absolute monster. But we're gonna see. Get this cover out of the way, shifter linkage, speedometer, drive shaft, all them, drain the fluid. You know the deal. So let's get to work. So it's out. Got the old transmission out and sitting over there. To our surprise, it's actually an aftermarket converter. Not exactly sure. I kind of googled the numbers, didn't find too much, but it says 2400 on it. I've never really stalled this car either, so I mean, it's a one piece. It's got another part number there. It's got like an anti-balloon plate, so it's not a bad one. And Transmission Specialties has been around forever. But I did have to, you see the Sawzall's out, did have to modify it and take this ear off because it's got headers in it. And you have to, I don't have gaskets to replace them, and B, the motor mounts are actually in the way, so you have to like do all kinds of sorts of things to get the headers out anyway, the motor in the car. So I said, I'm not doing all that, I'll just modify it, and I'll modify the new one to get it in. But I'm gonna take a break now, get some lunch, and then slam the new one in. So a couple hours later, and it's in. Basically just finished up, everything's in tight. Just have to fire it up and check fluid level. But initially I tried, I put 6 quarts in, which should be plenty for aftermarket small, like 9.5 inch, 10 inch converter. And the pan only holds 4, so it should have plenty of fluid in it. I just dumped a little bit more in, and everything looks good. I'm going to drop it and back it out and let it run outside a little bit because it stinks. And I mean, it's carbureted, so it doesn't, no emissions. So, but anyway, it's initially seems like it's okay. I put it in gear, like it clunked in the gear, so I'm gonna drop it down and fire it up and roll it outside. I'll fire it up when or I'll fire you guys up, fire the camera up when I drive it back. We'll see. All right, off the lift. Oh, that ding is great. I gotta turn idle up, just like 1/8 of a turn. So there's reverse. Oh, we're moving. Warm up and check fluid and everything. See how it goes. All right, pulling out onto the road. I'll come to a stop. See if it's got all 3 gears. Second. Changes. Give it some like medium throttle, not medium, but like, all right, let's see. A little bit of throttle. 3000 shift. Great. All right, let's see how we make it home. Well, we made it home. Car ran flawless. Just checked the fluid. Everything is perfect. Looks really good. So really happy with how that trans turned out. like I said, it shifts 2,900, 3,000 part throttle. I did full throttle after I I drove it around a while, triple checked the fluid was fine, did a wide open throttle in drive, and it shifts at 4,000. The factory, even if you can't see it, the factory red line is like 52, I want to say. Like the red line starts at 52. Yeah, 52 or so. I gotta do more research. I know Pontiac usually does not like to rev. So I just have to do a little bit of research. I don't know what cam is in it. Probably it's nothing too crazy. I'm pretty sure like it's an Edelbrock top end kit. Like it probably came with cam, intake, carburetor, you know, push rod, springs, all that. I'm sure it's all compatible. I haven't had the valve covers off because they don't leak and I didn't want to take them off. I might put my bore scope in there and see if it's got dual springs or not. Probably not. So again, I gotta see what this thing would normally rev to. You know, like what they do stock, you know, and just see. But anyway, I probably won't mess with the wide open throttle auto shift. I'll just manually shift it. There's a modification I did in the valve body that holds the TV cable in a certain position, and the shift kit I put in allows for manual control of wide open throttle. So yeah, I'll just hold it in, like manually shift it on the column if I want to for wide open throttle. But again, I gotta double check what this thing will want to rev to. I've revved it to like 5,000 and it's like, you could tell it's out of breath. It doesn't want to go much more. So probably 5,000 I'll shift it at. Anyway, like I said, made it home. Train's good. The real test is if it sits and doesn't leak, because the old trans would leak like a sieve. I tried pan gasket. The only thing I didn't do was converter seal. It could have been that, but I did pan gasket, resealed the modulator, you know, the dipstick, bunch of things, and it never sealed. So if it holds its fluid in it, I'll be pretty happy. But I'm happy anyway because it shifts great. It's nice, firm. It feels perfect. I might throw an external cooler on it because it only has through the radiator. So it'll go to the radiator temp, and it should basically stay with the coolant temp. And this thing, so it's actually going to start to creep now because the engine's off. But it usually sits at about 190. So it's a little hot for a transmission, 190 degrees. So I'll probably put an external cooler on it. Like I'll run it through the radiator to help warm it up and everything. And then I'll do an external cooler to shed off some heat and kind of prolong the life of the trans. But so I think that's it for this video. You guys enjoyed, give it a like. I'd appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribers. Slowly going up, and you know, it's cool. So you guys like to listen to me ramble and watch some of my shenanigans. So stay tuned for the next one. And like I said, that should be the Fairmont doing the finishing up the cage. See you in the next one.